All right, so I wanted to give one more example of different communications occurring here. Since our main focus is layer 1 through 4, I want to focus on, again, some of the examples here. So at layer 1, we're talking about bits. Examples here would be serial-based communication between routers. Examples would be a wide area network type scenario. Ethernet is a great example of layer 1. SONET, so fiber optic ring-based technology, is another great example of layer 1 type communication. Layer 2 communication would be any device that creates a Ethernet packet and then forwards Ethernet packets through the network. So examples there would be an Ethernet switch, a network interface card of your PC, a Ethernet bridge if you've got older Ethernet bridges floating through your network. A router fits here, but it doesn't really do its job here for the most part. It'll look at the Ethernet header to pass it up to layer 4, or layer 3, excuse me, but it won't actually do its work here. So really layer 2, we're talking about bridging and switching. Another key point, and I did mention this already, is the addressing scheme at layer 2. If we're talking about Ethernet, we're talking about MAC addresses, which is media access control addresses. And we'll talk more about the formatting of the 48-bit MAC address and how they fit into an Ethernet header later on in this course. So as far as how layer 3 devices work through the network, again, the example here is we're providing two things. We're providing the ability to build a hierarchy of our data network, of our infrastructure itself. Creating address space that identifies a network as a whole, so a particular segment of cable, if you will, and then the hosts that live on that particular segment. So we've got a hierarchy that says, here's a segment of users, and here's their addresses. We've got an address for the segment of users, and then each user has an individual address on that network. The other part of this layer is that the routers have to communicate from one to the other to discover the hierarchy of the network. So it's best path selection is another very important part of the job that routers are going to perform here. Determining what the best path through the network is one of the key components of what a layer 3 device, particularly a router, has to do within this network.